City of Santa Fe, March 4th, 2014, Mayoral Candidates. Question 3. How are you going to increase revenue to support growth, city programs, employee salaries and benefits, needed labor that provides the services with looming economic shortfall, also unstable GRTs, and the upcoming revenue loss resulting from the state's budget, which eliminated the hold harmless subsidy? Roman Tiger Abeta.
We need to make Santa Fe more business friendly. We need to have an expedited process for business licenses, building permits, and inspections. We also need to take a look at big corporations that are housed out of state. We need to make sure that we put in a mechanism so that we can capture some of that revenue that they're generating from our public who shops there.
Patty J Boucher.
When I am mayor, I will undertake a full audit and review of city projects and departments for efficiency, effectiveness, and compliance. I have a proven track record of asking the tough questions, standing strong against wasteful spending, and holding management accountable so that we have the resources available to take care of our citizens and our employees. The last-minute corporate tax giveaway that was brokered in the last legislative session that removed the hold harmless distributions to cities and counties was disappointing and harmful to those that least can afford it. Starting in fiscal year 2015, the revenue loss to the city of Santa Fe will be $650,000, escalating to $10.5 million in 2029. I do not favor putting gross receipts tax back on food due to the regressive nature of that kind of tax. I would also not favor enacting the 3/8 gross receipt tax increment that the legislature allowed. That new increment would make Santa Fe's GRT rate the highest in the state and harm our local economy. The only type of tax I favor at this time would be a so-called sin tax on alcohol or cigarettes.
Michael A. DeAnna.
Well, first of all, the mayor is the highest-ranking official of the city. He's the chief executive officer. He can't do anything unless he's given the power to do so. Right now, he cannot even vote when it comes to the city council issues unless there's a tie. I think the first thing that needs to happen is they need to give him the power to make these changes and to be accountable. When you have one person that's accountable, they seem to do a little bit more than if you have 5 or 6. The state is the one who takes care of the state issues. So the city doesn't really have a big say in that matter, whether it's health or education. The Department of New Mexico's Department of Education and Health, they're the ones that make those ultimate decisions. But the mayor, all he can do basically is influence the local community, hospitals, local schools, but it's ultimately the state who makes the regulations for that. So as far as that issue goes, we need to deal with the senators and the governor on the state issues.
Javier M Gonzalez.
There is no doubt that the city is confronted with very challenging budget times. To be able to move forward, the city needs to do at least a couple of things. One, we need to invest in our economy to ensure that we're able to grow our economy in a way that people are spending more money in our community, that money is coming into our town and being able to generate jobs and being able to support small businesses in their growth. If that takes place, more revenues are going to come into city coffers so that we can provide much needed services for people throughout the city. The second area is that we have to take a long, hard look at how we develop our budgets in the city. We need to make sure that we're spending money in ways that are truly delivering the most optimal services to our citizens, whether it's delivering services to our senior services areas, whether it's assuring that we have adequate police officers on the streets, assuring that our fire and medic departments are properly trained and staffed up. We have to have a budget system that works for the people of Santa Fe, which means we have to look at it a little bit different. And being able to do so, we're going to be able to drive more efficiencies and assure that public employees who are responsible for delivering those most critical services to the people of Santa Fe are not only well-trained, but they're well-paid. And the morale is at a level where people want to work. They want to deliver a service that honestly is second to none and ready to be able to provide for the basic needs of many Santa Feans.
Rebecca Warsberger.
Thank you. That is my number one priority as the new mayor. Now, there is no one solution to plugging the gap that's been caused by this decision. My key job as mayor will be to develop a robust, strategic, sustainable financial vision and plan for Santa Fe. We have a 20-year water budget, but no financial plan beyond the annual budget process of cut, 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 wait and hope that GRT will be okay. San Miguel de Allende has a 20-year plan, so does San Antonio. So why don't we? We will have one when I am mayor. As mayor, I will leave the city to form an annual budget review process that is a multi-year financial plan that results in forward-thinking revenue development built through a regional collaboration of businesses, nonprofits, unions, and representatives of the city's 54 community advisory committees. Short term, we will focus in increasing the GRT through additional targeted tourism to new markets. The BQL working group has already identified Mexico as a top priority. Last week's signing of the Sister Cities Agreement with San Miguel de Allende clearly focused not just on friendship, but expanding our respective economies through tourism and student exchanges. We also must immediately upgrade the airport waiting room so that we don't lose the new business that has been coming to Santa Fe since we opened up 2 new services. One final idea. The governing body must have the courage to honestly address with the community the issue of a more stable tax base, making choices about which services are truly essential and where new consolidation of resources can occur regionally. For example, in a city of only 150,000 people, do we really need separate staffs for economic development, for affordable housing, for fire services, for emergency services? Are there further cost savings we can explore through merging elements of our public safety and solid waste? These are the ideas that I'll be exploring with the community and staff in the future.
This is the end of question 3 for participating mayoral candidates.